Welcome back to another episode of Play Action Fantasy Football. We got Week 15 kicking off the playoffs in Most People Fantasy League here. So we're definitely going to have a good ranking list here going into Week 15. Great matchups overall. Every single team will be playing, so definitely have some opportunity for some great matchups to go ahead and win you some games here. Definitely get you farther into the playoffs. If you have a first-round bye, congratulations. If your league does that. If not, let's grind it out and get all the way to a championship. But this is going to be the quarterback rankings here, so we're going to go ahead and kick it off with number 1, Dak Prescott of the Bills. Good opportunity for Dak here. A little tough environment, but Dak has definitely been on a hot streak recently. Not even recently, over the last 10 games here. It's unbelievable what he's kind of done here. Number 2, we got Brock Purdy at the Cardinals. Good opportunity for him. Defense for the Cardinals is atrocious. Brock Purdy should have a great game. Josh Allen versus Cowboys. Josh Allen plays better at home, and after a win in Arrowhead, definitely like the opportunity for Josh Allen. How about number 4? You got Lamar Jackson at the Jaguars. Jaguars just got torched by Joe Flacco in Cleveland. Now Lamar Jackson gets to do the same against the Jaguars after an amazing game against the Rams last week. Jalen Hurts is going to be number 5 for me at Seattle. Rough outing last week, but he should definitely have a bounce back against Seattle here, especially with that rushing upside. Definitely can't put him any lower than that. 6 is going to be Tua Tagovailoa versus the Jets. Home game definitely makes me feel better about this over it being in MetLife, so definitely like Tua at 6. A guy who's probably been the lowest on this ranking so far this year is Patrick Mahomes of the Patriots. Tough environment. Patriots have done well against quarterbacks. They are tough against quarterbacks. And it's not even really Patrick Mahomes' fault. His receivers are just not helping him, but Mahomes has not been the guy you would take in the second round this year. He's more a bit of like a third or fourth round quarterback so far in fantasy football. Now we got number 8, Jared Goff versus the Broncos. This should be a bounce back game for Jared Goff against the Broncos. He does play better at home than he does on the road after a tough outing against Chicago in Chicago. Definitely look for Jared Goff to have a bounce back. Number 9, Matthew Stafford. Went into Baltimore and played like he wasn't even on the road. Unbelievable opportunity for Matthew Stafford. He sees it. Now he goes up against the Commanders. At home against the Commanders, who are near the bottom when it comes to points given up to quarterbacks, if not the bottom. So Matthew Stafford, number 9. Number 10 is going to be Jordan Love versus the Buccaneers. Buccaneers defense has sold multiple times. Should be a good opportunity for Jordan Love. 11, we got Sam Howell at the Rams. Even though it's a road game for Sam Howell, he went to Dallas and kind of lit him up a little bit with stats, but nothing more than that. So definitely look for Sam Howell to get you some points. 12, if he clears concussion protocol, which he should with the way that they played on the 1 o'clock window, CJ Stroud of the Titans is a great matchup and a good opportunity. I would like to put him higher, but unfortunately a lot of his weapons are banged up as well. And obviously this is only if he comes back from concussion protocol, but right now he's 12. 13, Russell Wilson at the Lions. Good game against the Chargers in LA. Now he goes on the road against Detroit. Detroit's 31 against quarterbacks, so definitely a good opportunity for Russell Wilson there. 14, Joe Flacco versus the Bears. Great opportunity for Flacco to continue his success last week. 3 touchdowns over 300 yards against Jacksonville and not the best weather. Now he gets looks like a much better weather against the Bears here at home in Cleveland. 15 is going to be Geno Smith versus the Eagles. If he plays, obviously Drew Lock didn't do terrible, but he can vice versa them there. Eagles are near the bottom as well when it comes to points given up to quarterbacks. And it's a home game in Seattle, so definitely a good opportunity for whoever the quarterback is for Seattle. 16, Trevor Lawrence versus the Ravens. He didn't play the best against Cleveland. That Cleveland defense is no joke, so the Ravens are as well. But Trevor Lawrence does play a lot better at home than he does on the road, so give me him at number 16. Number 17, Kyler Murray versus the 49ers. 49ers can be a little stingy when it comes to points given up to quarterbacks. But when you have a guy like Kyler Murray who does have the versatility to run and throw after coming off a bye week and the rest, I like Kyler Murray at 17. 18 is going to be Jake Browning versus the Vikings. Home game for Cincinnati, and Jake Browning played really well last week. He should continue that here against the Vikings, who are around the 20-25 mark when it comes to points given up to quarterbacks. 19 is going to be Baker Mayfield, the Packers. Tough opportunity for Baker. Last time he went to Lambeau, he did not play well on Christmas Eve, or Christmas Day, I should say. So Baker Mayfield at Lambeau should have an opportunity here for a bounce back as they are trying to hold on to their first place NFC South lead there. Number 20 is going to be Aiden O'Connell versus Chargers. Not a great game between Minnesota and the Raiders, but Aiden O'Connell against the Chargers, who are near the bottom and now don't have Justin Herbert. Aiden O'Connell should see a lot of time on the field and should have an opportunity to put up a decent amount of points for anyone that has him. We'll get into whether you should start him or not when that time comes around, though. Number 21 is going to be Derek Carr versus the Giants. Either him or Jameis Winston. Doesn't matter for me right now. They are both not doing great. So against the Giants, they're going to be number 21. This is going to kind of be the fill-in part of the list. But 22 is Gardner Minshew versus Steelers. They're tough against quarterbacks, but they're not great against receivers. For whatever reason, those stats are not adding up, or those rankings are not adding up based on that. But it's just the way it's showing as of right now. So Gardner Minshew versus the Steelers is not a great opportunity. He's 22. 23 is Desmond Ridder at the Panthers. Ritter's been killing it, or killed it last week, I should say. He had 2 decent weeks, and then he had a really good week last week against Carolina, who are tough against the quarterbacks. I still like Ridder, though. He should be able to put up a decent amount of points. 23 on the list here. 24 is going to be Will Levis versus the Texans. Struggled again another week, but against the Texans, they were 29th against the quarterback position. Should be a decent opportunity for him. And 25 is going to be Zach Wilson at the Dolphins. He came in and played great against the Texans. Now, a lot of that does have to do with the fact that C.J. Stroud did end up leaving the game due to concussion, but Zach Wilson did play very phenomenally against the Texans at MetLife. Now, this is a road game against the Dolphins, so he might take a step back here, but hopefully not. Hopefully we finally see a turnaround with Zach Wilson, but as of right now, he's going to be 25 to round out the list. And that's going to do it for our top 25 quarterback rankings for Week 15. We've officially made it to playoff week. We got 3 more weeks to go here. Best of luck to everybody. Make sure you look out for the other videos coming out tomorrow and then the start sit later in the week. Definitely like and subscribe goes a long way. It helps us go a long way in the channel. And hopefully you get a win this week and we can keep this going all the way to a championship. Other than that, you guys have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.